Good morning. I'm Elton Robinson with your March 4th grain and oilseed update. Many Mid-South farmers are continuing to make planting decisions for 2016, and it looks like at least two crops, rice and cotton, could have substantial increases. According to Jared Hardke, Extension Rice Agronomist at the University of Arkansas, a 20% increase in rice acres in the state seems extremely likely, given the current commodity price environment. That would put Arkansas above 1.5 million acres and possibly inch closer to 1.6 million acres. Much of the increase is expected in long grain rice. Hardke also believes USDA might have overestimated Arkansas rice yields for 2015 by as much as 5 bushels per acre. If that turns out to be the case, by midsummer, rice stocks might not be as high as the higher bushel per acre estimate might indicate. The acreage picture should start to come more into focus later this month with the release of USDA's March 31st prospective plantings report. Meanwhile, ample supplies hang over the wheat, soybean, and corn markets, which are also being negatively impacted by the strong dollar's effect on exports. With an El Nino expected to persist into the spring, soil moisture levels are favorable for grains across much of the United States. However, extreme to exceptional drought still persists across much of the far west. Let's move to USDA's weekly export report. This summary is based on reports from exporters for the period ending February 25th. Wheat exports of 388,000 metric tons were up 69% from the previous week and 32% from the prior 4-week average, with Mexico, South Korea, the Philippines, Taiwan, Peru, and Ecuador as primary destinations. Corn exports of 790,000 metric tons were down 9% from the previous week, but up 13% from the prior 4-week average. The primary destinations were South Korea with a little over 200,000 metric tons, followed by Mexico, Japan, Peru, Guatemala, and Colombia. Sorghum exports of 107,000 metric tons were down 51% from the previous week and 46% from the prior 4-week average. The destinations were China, which took, again, well over 90% of the shipments, and Mexico. Rice exports of 38,000 metric tons were down 45% from the previous week and 22% from the prior 4-week average, with shipments reported to Haiti, Costa Rica, South Korea, Mexico, Jordan, Taiwan, and Canada. Soybean exports of 1.23 million metric tons were down 14% from the previous week and 11% from the prior 4-week average. China was the primary destination, taking over 750,000 metric tons. Soybean meal exports of 261,000 metric tons were up 19% from the previous week and 23% from the prior 4-week average, with Mexico, Colombia, Egypt, and the Philippines as primary destinations. Soybean oil exports of 4,400 metric tons were up 12% from the previous week, but were down 69% from the prior 4-week average. Mexico and China are the two destinations. Beef exports of 10,500 metric tons were up 2% from the previous week, with Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong, and Mexico among destinations. Pork exports of 18,000 metric tons were up 2% from the previous week and from the prior 4-week average. Primary destinations were Mexico, Japan, South Korea, China, and Canada. Well, that's it for this week's report. I'm Elton Robinson. See you next time.